crawling, rolling, puzzling, all sorts of things at Momocon's indie booth at the Momocon Gaming Experience at Momocon 2015 at Momocon. That's correct.
Momocon.
Where are we?
Hans Island.
Where are we going?
Marseille.
Okay.
This is the OSMcast at Momocon. Hey folks, and welcome back to the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. I'm Basil.
I'm Kevin.
And joining us is our wonderful friends on the Chainsaw Buffet. Like... like...
Dylan!
Charlie!
Wait. I'm in bed with Basil's fiance.
That's us!
This is just going great.
Now that we've confused people.
So, here we are at Momocon 2015. And it's kind of gotten big.
A little bit.
Like really big.
I think it's on roids. Check
Right.
its testicles.
That kind of growth is not natural.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I remember when Momocon used to have a normal-sized head, a slimmer body, just be more athletic.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just... it's all veiny and muscly and...
Angry all the time.
Swollen and grotesque.
might also be the governor of California for a bit, I'm not sure.
At least was in Predator and may therefore one day be a governor in the future.
But yeah, it's gotten really big and in a really good way and to the point where you really just can't cover the con anymore.
No.
Like, we're not an actual news organization.
We need to be the Eminem.
Wait, what?
Momocon News Network.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are
Really?
really close to CNN.
I was like, shouldn't CNN be doing this for us? I mean, they didn't have to. They didn't have to leave their offices to cover the convention.
They're like one escalator ride.
They don't literally even have to walk outside to cover it.
They have to point their cameras at their food court.
How lazy are they?
And it'd be so much happier than what's on CNN.
Or they could at least send the guys over at CNN, just the English language version.
I love that so much.
It's a real thing, guys.
I need a shirt that says that, and they do sell them.
They do sell them. We need them.
So, I thought to myself, Basil, what could we cover at Momocon? Well, could cover panels, but we always cover panels. We could tell you about the dealer's room. That's a dealer's room.
It's a big dealer's room. That's all you need to know.
It's a big-ass dealer's room. It's gigantic.
They had a yokai watch. Nobody has yokai watches.
Except for
True.
Basil.
Well, yeah, because I bought it. The Momocon dealer's room at Momocon 2015.
Hashtag Momocon 2015. Hashtag Momocon.
Hashtag AwesomeCast.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag MGS. Kevin, the only one among us that really knows how to use social media.
I wouldn't say that's how you use it.
Yes, it is. It's how it's used.
Exactly is.
Oh, you mean in like an anthropological sense as opposed to like a...
Logical sense.
as an effectiveness sense. Like, here's the natural social media user in their natural habitat.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag know with it.
Of course, minimal sleep has been had by all.
Long story short, we decided to cover all the indie games. Or at least as many of them as we could play.
Did we succeed?
Nope.
We
Succeeded
got
in playing
pretty
a lot.
close.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised how many little promo cards I have here.
If you
And-
and what you guys played, it might have rounded it off.
And I was surprised at how many indie booths and things were here. Like,
Yes.
there was a bunch.
Yeah. And some of them at least had come from quite a ways away. At least one company came from New Mexico.
I think we had 2 from New Mexico.
Yeah, 2 from New Mexico.
One of the New Mexico guys knew one of the other guys. They were also from New Mexico.
I think they carpooled.
New Mexico's biggest export is indie game companies.
And alien parts.
Yeah.
Not the parts you want, though.
Incidentally, one of the guys from our game design group in Knoxville came here just for the day on Friday, and he actually did a blog post, I think, about the different booths and kind of what he thought was effective and not. I will try to find that link. I think his site is levidsmith.com.
Well, our master sleuth Dylan is on the case.
And indie game developer, by the way.
It's true.
Not of that caliber.
So he knows quality.
No.
He knows indie.
Oh, the dog?
The dog?
So let's talk games.
Why does it have to be snakes?
I don't think that was a game.
It can't be off track if it never got off
There
track.
should be an indie game called Why Did It Have to Be Snakes?
Well,
Dylan, make it.
right in the indie game booth, I found this one. It was called Pac-Man. I had never seen that before.
It's going to be big.
Yeah, I think it might be. It's like it's simple, but it's clever.
It's very retro. It looks like 8-bit or something.
I think it's based off a movie.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it came out in conjunction with that Pixel.
Yeah, I guess it's probably some kind of tie into that Pixels movie. Some Adam Sandler crap. I don't know.
Hey, it's got Dinklage and a mullet.
But man, that Pac-Man game,
That Pac-Man game.
it sure is nice.
Yeah.
Dinklage and a Mullet is the name of my band.
It's like waka 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 waka, and you're eating pellets, and there's a big pellet, and then we get the big pellet. You can chase after ghosts, but if you don't have that, the ghost will kill you. And you'd be like, "Shit, I'm dead."
Wow, that was actually a really good...
That's a good representation of
That
Pac-Man.
was a very good Curly from the Three Stooges.
It's both.
Yang, yang, woo!
Well, that's it. They also do have a lot of really good old arcade games here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not had a chance to play them yet.
Because they're always covered up.
They are. I've got to make an effort to at least get some pinball.
Kevin played this really weird, dumb robot thing.
Zybots.
Zybots.
That makes no damn sense. Because you can, not only do you have a joystick and a fire button, but you can also twist a joystick, like to rotate.
Huh.
And sometimes you just seem to run for no damn reason. And sometimes you could control yourself. And things wanted to shoot you, and it was really hard to actually aim yourself at them because, crappy multi-axis movement.
I really want a game that's tagline is, sometimes you can control it.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
And then we also play like Wizard of War.
Wizard of War?
War or W-O-R.
Yeah.
I just love the cabinet art on that thing. That was amazing.
I think when we passed by it, you said someone got paid to design this.
Someone
Yes.
did.
It's just like this.
The cabinet art would have me believe I'm some manner of space knight fighting evil wizards and their dragon minions. I'm not sure what the actual game I played was.
But you sort of moved a guy around and you fired a laser,
I'm
hopefully.
still not sure if I was being awarded or penalized for killing Basil. Because there were other things to kill, and that seemed to be the real goal. But I could totally shoot Basil and kill him.
So
But-
fun.
But weren't the original arcade developers guys the original indies? And whether the answer is yes or no, I don't care. We're talking about indie games now. So,
Well, one more minor point. I played the best game of Space Invaders of my damn life in that room.
Congratulations.
So, okay, indie games.
alright. Well, I got a page of notes before I gave up notes. Gave up on life.
Aww.
So Dog Eat Dog Games had like 3 games there.
Yeah.
They were the guys who I think drove in from New Mexico.
One of
Okay.
them.
I think I played 2 of them.
I played all 3.
Yeah.
One was really enjoyable, and the other ones are works in progress.
Which one was the one that was enjoyable?
I believe Sticky.
I played Sticky, and I think it was called Stellar. It was the
Yes.
3D shooter game.
It seems conceptually really cool.
Yeah, I just didn't get...
I just didn't get it. Like, I was flying around and I thought I got to the point where I could shoot guys, but then I couldn't shoot the guys.
I successfully shot a couple of guys. But
Did you?
with some difficulty. At least I think I shot guys. They were there. I was shooting at them. But I think you have to be on the... Since you can switch between that 2D and the 3D, like, I think you still have to be on the same plane with them in order to hit them. And if you're not, you're still just flying around and shooting at random.
Well, what it was supposed to do when you changed axes was it was supposed to lock everything to whichever axis was being flattened, basically. And I never really got the sense of like why this would be advantageous. Although I think it's the type of thing that like if you eased someone into, had some good tutorials, would make a lot of sense.
I think it would really help if there was a more obvious, hey, these guys are on your plane now, snap it.
Yeah.
Because I think that sometimes you would see them like highlighted in red boxes, and I'm not sure whether or not that meant you're on the same plane or not. I tried locking in when I saw them in the red boxes, but nothing seemed to happen. So I'm not sure, but it is a work in progress. The other one was a tablet game called Vivo, which was the one.
Yeah,
it was sort of like a tablet implementation of a twin stick shooter, but it's on a sphere, and your left hand moves the spear, your character on the sphere around, and then the other hand moves your character around, and it starts shooting when you're moving the character around. And this is again another work in progress. And it was a bit more fun than Stellar was.
Yeah.
But they did have this weird issue where if you get it on the vertice just right, it would just
go.
keep spinning in place.
Like
and
well, I noticed you could see your own shots circling the planet.
Yeah, it was
sort of neat.
Sticky though was really interesting.
Sticky was really interesting.
It was basically a match 3 game played in a circle that you rotated the inner circle. Took a little getting used to because. One, it's on a tablet. It's just, I'm not used to
little balls
rotating.
fly towards the center of your screen, and once they get there, they start clumping up. And when 3 balls touch, well, they vanish. And then you're trying not to get not trying to keep from getting stuff piled on too heavy as you start going outside the circle.
Don't want too many balls touching.
You kind of have to think ahead because it's very easy
Yeah.
to swing, an arm around and attach an orb where you don't want it.
I definitely kind of want to really... It's free to download, apparently, on mobile. And I'm going to give it a shot because apparently it also uses your own music to generate the levels and things. And that sounds really neat, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot. And Sticky, again, I did really enjoy that one. So that tells me once these guys get done with their other 2 games...
Maybe.
I'm hoping they'll be good.
Yeah.
It's just, they were showing really, really raw stuff. Because that's what they had. And I thought it was also kind of neat that they were showing off everything that they got.
Yeah, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. And they have, their baby that's,
And, there was another one. They went with another studio. And I think Charlie got to play that one. It was the one where people were on planets and you were circling around the planets.
Was that Moonstrider?
Yeah, Moonstrider.
That was a very interesting game. 8-bit, and you're in... Each level is, I guess, essentially supposed to be a solar system, and there are all these planets, and there are monsters and planets, and the planets are generally pretty small, and you're a dude with a gun, and you've got health, and you've got the gun, and you shoot things, and you've got fuel to jump from planet to planet, and I really did enjoy it, because, each planet, it's 2D, so each planet is just a circle. And once you start going around it, you actually, as I recall, you have to kind of watch how you're using movement because when you hit the other side of the world, it can kind of reverse.
Yeah.
And then there are resources you can dig up to try to get more fuel because, fuel is a limited resource and you need it to get from planet to planet. Your gun will recharge. Health is, at least in the first level, extremely hard to find. But basically, you're just hopping around these planets until you can finally find the boss. Then if you defeat the boss, you can go on to the next level. And there's 3 levels that they had in the game. I don't know how many, if that's the finished game. I'm sure there'll be more levels. What was cool, at least for me, is, and this part of this is that there weren't a lot of people waiting because we were there kind of late, is I got to try it 3 different times, and on the 3rd time, I actually beat it. And apparently, so far that they've had it set up at Momocon, I was only the 20th person to actually beat it, which was kind of cool. And it is like the last boss is I honestly don't even know how I beat that. That was crazy hard.
I got a chance to play it, and I really liked it just because it was tough, but it didn't start out too tough. It kind of eased you in. And I think I can't remember if they actually described it as a roguelike or something, but you are kind of in that situation where if you really want to get ahead, you need to kind of explore and put yourself in danger so you can get the resources you're going to need later.
But you got to watch out because I don't know if this was one of the games I lost, or I think it was it was the one I eventually won, is that you can't, unless there's they never explained that there was a way to do this, that there's not any way to really zoom out and see what the map looks like.
Yeah.
As a result, if you get yourself caught in a corner and there are no more resources around, you could quite easily run the risk of running out of fuel and not being able to go anywhere, which I don't know what happens at that point because I never got to that point.
You could set a beacon, and the beacon would do... I'm not really sure what the beacon... They said there was some danger to it, but it would basically get you more fuel. I think it took me a little while to realize that the mechanic you could use to jump between planets, you kind of use to scroll the map out a bit.
Yeah, if you try to aim not for a nearby planet but for further out to try to get that was a cool trick. I also found out quite by accident that if 2 planets are close enough and they have to be really close, you can just jump. But that was the it had a good learning curve. It was definitely challenging.
That is definitely one. I think they said they were on Steam Greenlight, and that's definitely one I think I will take actually go and vote for.
So what would you play next, Dylan? Or what did you? You're up next. What'd you play?
Let's see. I played a game called Lumini. Lumini? I can't remember how you pronounce it. I think it may actually already be out on Steam, or it says it's going to be available in September 2015. And really, really nice game graphically. Like, it was definitely trying to be like a flow type of like the PS3 game where it's very light on instructions. You kind of control this swarm of creatures, and there are 3 types, and you can switch between which creatures you're using. Some creatures attack, some creatures, if you activate their ability, will increase your speed, and some will allow you to pick up power-ups at distances. And it's kind of a puzzle game that just looks real nice. Actually, it wasn't overly hard either. I think it was kind of just the right level of difficulty. Did anyone else get to play that?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I want to. I saw it, but I, of course, chose Saturday to start playing all these games. That was the worst idea that one could have because everyone was swamped.
Yes.
Like, whenever I went to try and play games, everyone was swamped and everyone was playing games, which was great to see. But, man, it was kind of hard to play some of these games just because of that, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's almost as though Momocon had a huge crowd.
Almost. So, did you get to play anything, John?
Yes, I don't know the names of any of them.
You did play the Sentinels of the Multiverse, did you not?
I did play the PC version of Sentinels of the Multiverse. I don't know how indie that is considered.
It was in the indie game section.
Yeah, like that's not a...
Yeah. Very much what you would expect if you played the card game. The demo I played was strictly single player, so it was a little bit different because you control all 4 of the heroes and you played their cards. You basically played all 4 decks at once.
That's what the real version of the game is basically like too.
Well, I find
there is a Kickstarter, I think, that is, they're going to be adding in multiplayer support at some point in the future, but I'm not sure when that is.
I was going to say, I can see how you could play the game single player, but I find much more enjoyment in just playing a single deck and playing with friends and cooperating.
Yeah.
So I think that was lost on me a little bit, but that's just purely a personal preference that isn't anything negative towards the PC version itself.
I had the same thought, to be honest.
It did faithfully reproduce the art, the art from the cards and everything, and the presentation looked nice. Although it wasn't animated or anything. All the graphics were static, but it was still very slick looking. And if you enjoyed the game, you'll enjoy the PC version as well. There's no reason not to. What was the name? Was it Prisma? Was that the name of the game where you had to
Yes.
I played that.
I've not played it yet.
Interesting.
I watched Dylan play it.
It was an interesting platformer where the buttons were assigned to different abilities. Like one allowed you to jump higher, one allowed you to break through obstacles, one let you run faster,
But also different things in the world would become solid or transparent depending on which mode you were in.
Yeah.
right. And so as you progress, you were basically having to keep moving while switching between these various powers. And while they do give you an opportunity to experiment with each one individually, it felt as though, at least in the demo I played, like you got into some really complicated stuff really quickly. Like it escalated very quickly in terms of like how familiar I felt with the button configuration and everything, because they had a Super Famicom style USB controller hooked up to it that had the yellow, blue, red, and green buttons attached to it, because that's the same colors that are used in the game. But I'm not usually, when I think of assigning buttons, I think B, A, X, Y, etc. Not necessarily colors. So for some reason in my brain, it took a moment to try and map the different abilities to my muscle memory, which is a little odd because it usually isn't an issue in most games. But I think that's just getting used to it. And what was the name of the puzzle fighter game that we played, Dylan?
SPAERA, I guess. SPAERA Puzzle Fighter.
Hold on, I got that. Yeah, it's SPAERA.
Wait, was that the Tetris clone, or?
Yeah, that was the Tetris one. That was an interesting game because it was in the vein of like Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. That's the actual name, I think.
Yeah, it was kind of a really neat combo of the two.
Yeah.
But still sort of threw its own spin on things.
Right.
You start off by picking one of their original characters. Don't steal. Obviously the Mazinger Z inspired one was the best.
Yes.
And the guy, one of the developers, looked at me and Kevin while you were playing, and he went, "You knew that? Wait, what? Really? You're the first people to realize this was a Mazinger Z reference." And he was so happy. But yeah, it's really neat because it plays like Tetris, although they will actually use 5 blocks and 6 blocks instead of the normal is 4.
Yeah. The blocks were kind of there was a first come first serve type of queue where
you could see what the next 4 blocks were, but it didn't necessarily mean that you were getting the next block unless it depended on how quickly it was played, and abilities could, like the Mazinger Z Mega Man, whatever robot that was, had an ability that he shot a jet fist, and it would make it difficult for it would slow down the other player's ability to play blocks. So
it gives you a good rocket punch.
Right.
But the idea, I think, was that like some of the more complicated blocks were kind of like you had to know how to manipulate that,
or get rid of it, because as you play the game, the end state is just like Tetris. If you get up to the top, you lose. But if you, as you play the game, different glowy blocks will be in there, and if you clear the line of the glowy block, you get the access to do an ability. And the ability, A, helps organize your blocks better so that you can, keep making lines. Secondly, it removes whatever blocks both players were trying to use. So, say, if you get one of those super complicated blocks that are going to screw you over, use your ability, away goes the block. Or, say, if your opponent has a really good one, say, opponents get like one of the 5 long blocks, so they can pull off a 5-line clear at once, boom, it's gone. And your blocks are organized. So there is sort of this, very competitive thing, and each character has their own different way they organize. Maybe they sweep it all to one side, maybe they clear up the middle, maybe you also have a combative ability. So it's a really neat design, and I think it's just enough not Tetris that it's okay.
Yes. I mean, I definitely felt like I was playing it like I would play Tetris, and I would kind of like, oh yeah, I've got these abilities. And you can totally do that. It's totally fine to play that way. It's not like you felt hamstringed by,
But apparently, the developer said that if you try to play it like Tetris too much, you can really dig yourself into a hole really fast.
You just get those, whatever block comes next.
Yeah, because there's a
jockeying for position.
Yeah, because you're all pulling from the same pool of blocks, and a valid tactic is to either clear through some cruddy blocks faster, so you can try to get to the good block, or wait for them to get the bad block so you can get the good block. Which I saw both things happen. But no, I really, really liked SPAERA or SPAERA, however they want to pronounce it. It was a lot of fun, and that one actually, I think it just got greenlit on Steam, but they're also planning an eventual console port. They wouldn't mention which console is going to be, but I know that I mentioned, I noticed those controllers that you're using are this certain console. Is that any indication? He's like, why? Because I own the other console. And he was like, I wouldn't worry about that. So, who knows? Kevin, give me something to eat.
Really quickly, before we move on, for next year, for Momocon 2016, for the indie games, how much money do I need to throw at Jess to get Igarashi and Bloodstained over here?
Oh, man.
I don't think he needs a booth to promote that.
No, but I just want it here, and I want it soon.
I don't know if they've put the video up for everyone else, because I only saw it here, but Mega64 got a really awesome video joke thing they did with Igarashi for Bloodstained. It was pretty great. Kevin and I went to the panel. This is apropos of nothing, but we did go to the Mega64 panel, and they got to do a video with Igarashi, and man, it was
Great Vampire Hunter Iga.
It was great. It was great. If they've got it up, you should totally go watch it. It's almost as good as the actual Kickstarter video. In some ways, possibly better. Kevin, give me a game you played.
I like StarCrawlers.
Yes, StarCrawlers.
It was a game. It was totally a game.
That you liked.
Yeah.
Game's game right there.
Well, it's sort of a sci-fi dungeon crawler RPG.
Okay, go on.
You select a party, you get jobs, which in the demo, or what they had, you were exploring a derelict ship, it seemed like. And there's both puzzle solving, and that, it's kind of like the little dungeon crawler first-person view where you move one block at a time, except it also, you can move the mouse around for free view and to interact with objects, like you might find a hidden switch or or realize, oh, there's a panel I need to step on, that'll deactivate the laser fence. And, but also at the same time, you will run into creatures, and instead of, it's not like a first-person shooter. Well, you're into the creature. It turns into kind of a standard first-person RPG battle mode where your party members actually get to use their abilities, and you fight. Well, they had robots, so I fought robots. I liked it a lot. This is partially due because you can sell me wizardry as many times as you would like, and it definitely seemed reminiscent of that style of game, except it's sci-fi. Some of the characters seem to have some kind of resource generation to their abilities. Like, one guy had, like, little robot drone minions. There was that one gathered junk so you could launch another minion that did way more damage. There was some kind of wizard type character who she seemed to have to build up some kind of energy using one ability before she could use her big attack. But it was, it's got a lot of potential, I think. I'm not sure how far along it is because they were like going to lunch and we were about to go to dinner, or they were about to go to dinner, we were about to go to dinner. I didn't have a lot of time to actually talk to the creators.
All right, well, I think we'll take a short break, and we'll be back with more indie games at Momocon 2015. Hashtag Momocon. Hashtag we'll be right back.
Hashtag blessed.
We'll be right back. This is the Awesome Buffet. And we're back on the Chainsaw Cast here at Momocon 2015. Hashtag Momocon. Hashtag more indie games.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag no filter.
God damn it, Kevin.
Hashtag Kevin. Hashtag Yagite.
Hashtag ignore you guys. Puzzle Mare.
Puzzle Mare?
I don't think I played that one.
Puzzle Mare.
It's a video game for your cell phone or tablet.
They have those now?
They do. It's an amazing technology.
Playing a game on a cell phone or tablet that's not Peggle 2?
Yeah, I know. It's... man. If they had Peggle 2 here, that'd be impressive because it's Peggle Blast on Android and iOS. But anyways, Puzzle Mare is a game that is another Match 3. And I love myself some Match 3.
They're so good.
They are so good. Like, if you want to rotate on a thing, that's fine. If you want to do it on a grid space where it's kind of like Triple Town, this is your thing. Like, I was playing it, like, you've got this grid. And as you match 3, the thing turns into another thing. And the whole idea is that you're building a town. Or a city. So, say you match 3 tents. It'll turn into an RV. You match 3 RVs. It'll turn into a house. Match 3 houses. Turn into a bigger house.
What do you have to match to turn into a shanty town?
Well, that's a good question. But...
We're going to have to go back and find him tomorrow.
It sounds just like real life.
Match 3 cardboard boxes. You get a hobo now.
Yeah.
Match 3 hobo towns, you get a Homestuck convention.
Kevin?
Hashtag blessed. Hashtag blessed.
Speaking of Hamicon, June 26th through 28th, Huntsville,
Alienating all the fandoms.
So it did remind me a lot of Triple Town. I mentioned that to the developer, and he was like, yeah, we kind of took inspiration from that. Which is great for me, because frankly, I don't think they're ever going to do a Triple Town 2. They keep making other games instead of iterating on the one I really liked. But this guy is, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember I was playing the game, and the guy's like, you're not even using any of the power-ups. You're pretty good at this. And I just went to him, I play a lot of Triple Town. And I mentioned, like, oh man, and there's not even any bears. And he's like, well, we got bears.
Of course it does.
Well, it is actually, in fact, again, more interesting. It's very Super Nintendo SimCity-like, where there'll be random blocks that'll be like devastation things, like alien attacks or like fires or whatnot. And if you wait too long, it'll totally wreck your city. But it also has some neat power-ups, like you could totally shuffle the board or bulldoze something or move something from one square to another square, and you had little parking lots that you could park, hold things in reserve. And it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely can't wait to play it endlessly as my new addiction later on whenever it comes out for reals on the Googles. So, Charlie, give me a game.
The only other game I played at this point was Just Shapes and Beats.
That was a game.
That was an interesting game. It was a very difficult game.
Yes.
It was a dodge 'em up.
Yeah.
Oh, was that one with the weird thing slamming its fist
Yes.
around and throwing
like-
shockwaves that exploded off the wall? And...
It's a shmup. Because it's not a shmup, because you don't shoot things, you just dodge.
Yeah.
That took some getting used to. There is no offense.
There is only defense.
There's
There's
only
not
like
much
a
of that.
dash that will make you invincible for a short period of time and basically get you out of danger.
Yeah.
Or get you through danger.
Because crap comes at you so fast.
But what was interesting is it's also co-op. You can play up to 4
Yes.
players, and it's not really a competition. Like if someone
No,
dies,
it's very
you can-
cooperative.
You can revive them.
And that's probably the only thing that makes it playable. Because to me, it's up there as far as like having to dodge crap. It's up there with some of those like insane Japanese games where you're trying to dodge a million things.
Yeah, it's like a bullet hell shooter, only it's a bullet hell dodger.
Yeah. So that's if it really wasn't for the cooperative aspect, wow, like I would not be able to play it. Like it would just be infuriating.
And it was neat because it was, again, just like the name says, it is just shapes and beats. It's a lot of geometric shapes that are artfully arranged, but it looks really cool and has some really good, EDM chip tune type things that you play to.
Which they did. I mean, the way that is all synced up is I mean, it was pretty slick. I have to say, we only crashed the game once.
And,
it is true. We crashed the game.
And like a bullet hell shooter, it is really just rote memorization. But even if you've got the memorization down, it does take, skill to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a chance to play it right before they started shutting everything down.
Yep. It was more fun than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, like if someone were to describe that game to me, if I were to give myself the same description I just made, I'd be like, I don't know if that's for me. But in practice, it is actually a lot more entertaining.
And it's hard to say, it felt like a game.
Mm-hmm.
But it really did feel like sort of like an old school arcade game in that respect, where it was very I could totally seen this, back on the Xbox 360 on the Xbox Live Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Like it definitely had that sort of aesthetic, that sort of feel to it, and the actual moving the cursor around felt right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that could be really easy to screw up, but they didn't screw it up. When I moved it around on the stick, it felt like when I moved the stick, it moved in proper correspondence with the stick.
It took me a little getting used to that. Like at first, it was like, man, this is really, really sensitive. And I don't know. Part of it was they had a big screen TV, so it was like, man, I really have to work to kind of pay attention to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that really giant ass TV really helped show it off.
It did, yeah. No, I'm not.
And I think you might have one of the better speaker setups in the booth.
Yeah,
which is critical for a game that relies
it's super
on
music based.
Yeah. So if our descriptions, if after listening to this you're only on the fence about it, my suggestion is definitely play it then, because it is better than we can make it sound.
And that was done by Berzerk Studio. And we'll definitely have links and everything on the show notes. So if you want to check out any of these things, we'll make sure you can get there. Dylan, what'd you play?
I played a game called Neon Krieger Yamato. And I'd seen this being played, and it kind of reminded me of Mega Man. Like the art style, it's kind of 8 to 16-bit. It's a co-op game where you can actually select your character. It's a co-op platforming game. Platforming shooting, I guess. You can select your character, so each character kind of has a different configuration. Some characters
are like more melee based, some of them are more projectile based.
Yeah, and I ended up playing like one of the projectile characters, and I was playing with someone who was playing melee, so after a while, even without a lot of discussion, we kind of got into a rhythm of like, okay, I need to do this, you need to do that.
There was a really good moment where there was this like little Metal Gear type thing that was really tough on the front, but it was weaker on the back.
Yes. I do remember
And
that.
me and another guy, we got into this really good pattern where I would be shooting it from the front. He would jump around and attack it from the back. And that was a really neat moment when that just worked. It just clicked.
Yeah, I also thought, and what was good about a lot of these is the demos were just right. They weren't like overly tough, but they weren't just completely easy either. And I felt like this kind of hit that sweet spot where it wasn't like, it's not trying to be one of those like just brutally tough games.
Like Soul Crusher or anything.
Yeah.
I will say, I felt that the jumping physics were a little... Well, they weren't as... For a platformer, like your jump physics need to really be on point.
Yes.
Like case in point, Little Big Planet. It's a really pretty, it's a fun game, but man, the jumps are just a little wonky.
Well, people kind of expect a certain, because you're used to Mario, you're used to Mega Man, you're used to all these different kind of common models for jumping. That when something feels different, it does feel wrong. I tried a platformer the last time I did a Let 'em Dare jam, and that was like the comments, like, "Oh man, jumping feels weird. Jumping feels weird."
Well, it's super easy. It seems like to make your platforming slippery.
Yes,
It's a little bit like precision is everything when you do a platformer, and this one it feels a little slippery. Like I know the game doesn't come out until like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
And so I'm really hoping they take their time to polish it all up, because it felt like there was a lot of bones of a really neat game idea. It's just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Which again, it's an indie game area. Most of these things are still works in progress, so I can't knock them for it.
I actually was really surprised anytime a game was like, "Yeah, we're already on green light," or even more surprised when they were like, "Yeah, we're already out." Because for some reason, I don't know. I didn't think of. I figured this would be a lot of people in development.
Well, and it did have a mix, because there were a lot of games that were in fact still in development.
Yeah.
And there were some I played that were actually like super in development. Kevin, what'd you play? I'm gonna go with you, then go back to John.
Already, other people have covered most of what else I've played. One I couldn't play because they didn't actually really have a demo. That was SnarfQuest.
Snarf.
Not that Snarf.
Snarf.
It's kind of an odd idea because I don't think most people know who the hell this is. But the SnarfQuest was a little 3-panel comic strip that used to run in Dragon Magazine. It was like this weird little deformed, I don't know if they ever established what he is, but he was some kind of weird little like kobold looking dude who would just have weird silly adventures. And the notable part of this is the artist for it was the guy who drew the cover on the original Red Box Dungeons and Dragons.
Huh. Which I guess is why all the a bunch of the promotional materials look like.
Apparently, if you go to their website, you can download a demo of this point-and-click adventure game based on this character. I might do that, but it's like, okay, it looks pretty. You don't really have anything for me to play here. I like that you made me dig up a bit of nostalgia I didn't know my brain had, but I don't know if it's going to be any good.
I know, John.
That's okay. Yeah, I kind of... Sorry, Basil, I screwed up your process here because I just, diarrhea vomited all the indie games I played. But there is one game that I played by this plucky little publisher called Sega. Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. That's a fun game. I like that. I like fighting games with anime characters.
Well, Sega's putting almost as many games as indie devs are anyway, so go ahead.
That's true.
Fire away.
It is actually sort of an interesting take on fighting games because if Smash Brothers, and I don't necessarily consider it a fighting game, if Smash Brothers is the simplest sort of combat-based competitive game that there is, Fighting Climax is a step above that because the controls are universal among all the characters. They have, half circle forward and half circle back attack, special attacks. And then you can do 2-button combinations to do like an EX version or a super using the same motions. And then there's like down, side, and back ABs that do like universal reversals, dash attacks, or overheads that you can go into launch combos. But it's a relatively simple game to learn. There are assist characters and some recognizable and some less recognizable characters from games and anime.
It had Dokuro-chan.
It did have Dokuro-chan and Boogie-Bop.
If you're going to have a fighting game with anime characters, Dokuro-chan should be number one on the list.
Damn straight. Sadamao from The Devil is a Part-Timer is one of the assist characters. Makoto Misaka from Certain Magical Index is in there. Shauna is in there. Shauna's character I played primarily. Also, Kirito and Asuna from that dumbass Sword Art Online shows. I still need to submit a panel to Hamicon, hour long, called "What's Wrong with Sword Art Online?"
Everything.
You should.
Everything.
Yeah.
Just that for an hour.
Well, that's probably better than my panel to answer the question, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Yes. The answer is yes. Yes, it's wrong.
Questions.
Don't do it.
We'll now go into the Q&A segment, which is the next 55 minutes.
Estia is for Estia.
So, White the Game. White the Game is one of those super, like, what Dylan really thinks when he thinks of the word indie. Like, it is a one-man project. It was developed in a game jam, but he's now parceling it out into an actual game development.
He made this game in a cave out of a box of scraps.
Possibly. Apparently, the game was based off of sort of health-oriented games, and he did one based off you're playing the body's last white blood cell, trying to fight everything off, and it was sort of a HIV/AIDS awareness game.
Wow.
Where you're playing this one lone white blood cell as it's going through all these blood veins trying to attack all these other, So you're going through all these blood vessels, fighting off all these alien invaders while also the storyline's going on.
So who's sick in the storyline?
Like, I think a little girl named Susie, and she's talking to like either her mom or her dad, and they keep telling her like these little ward bubbles come up.
Yeah.
And then you go through the next stage, and you're fighting more things, and it is also all monochrome. Like, it's just black and white with like traces of red. And as you're going further, it's getting a little creepy, a little glitchier. And he gets to the end of this sort of his game jam where the boss starts rearing up, and it gets all staticky and cutting in and out, and it puts off this really good mood. I mean, it's doing its job, and it's this monster that you obviously are meant to fight, but you're not. And then it cuts and then tells you like horrible health facts about how many people die to HIV and AIDS in a year, and what would you do to save them. And that was the entire thing. Like, it was, I'm like, okay, I wasn't kind of thinking I was going to go through, like, somewhat of an emotional experience here in the Momocon indie game booth, but it's there.
Like, I kind of want to play it. It sounds good. At the same
sort
time,
of R-Type like.
I don't want to play a game that I then feel bad about. Like, oh, this little girl died because I wasn't good enough.
Well, I think the point is you can't win. I mean, I didn't play it. But
So the point is, you can't be good enough.
Well, no, the point is, like, what the...
I don't want to get to the end of the game and then feel like jumping off of a building.
It's a super depressing version of Life Force, everybody.
Kinda, yeah.
But it was definitely interesting. I was actually out of Atlanta.
Huh.
He apparently is trying to sort of make more of a thing for Indies in Atlanta, and that was his latest Game Jam thing. Did anyone play from this Ian Barrage, Psych Vision Gaming? The other side has EXP Gold.
Oh, that was Retro Runner.
Oh yeah, I did play
I
that.
saw that. I did not play
I did
it.
play that. I forgot about that. It was Retro Runner. Yeah.
Well, tell me about Retro Runner.
You run. It's retro. Well, the stage is supposed to be inspired by classic video games. Like the first one is very obviously Super Mario Brothers.
All right.
But it's a runner, so you know it's constantly moving. You have to jump over obstacles.
Well, it's not like a forced scroll. Well, the screen automatically scrolls, but you're in complete control of your
Yeah, I
character.
did get killed a couple times because the screen started moving before I was actually ready and just walked you right off the screen.
There was actually one stage where I think that was intentional, and it was supposed to be tough, I think, but it was also the jumps and the running felt really, really sensitive. And
Yeah, the
kind
jumps felt like they were all over the place for me, and that I strangely seemed to work out more times than not, though. So,
It took me several tries. I don't know if that was intentional and that was part of the difficulty, but if it was, I don't know. It may not really be my thing.
All right, guys.
Hashtag young too.
Kevin, shut up. So also, Huntsville local legends, C63 Industries makes a game called Pixeled. Are You Squared? It's a puzzle game. The booth is all nice and lit up and has plenty of balls, energy drinks for you to look at, and has a train on it. And
the train is also a computer.
the train, really?
Yes.
Huh.
The train is a computer. It's the fastest gaining computer in the world. 0.03 miles per hour. The signs are there. I'm just repeating it.
It's too late for this to be so funny.
Wow. Alright, so, anyways, it's this game where you play as a pixel. And it's sort of a bunch of thought logic puzzles, where the idea is that there's a bunch of colored doorways that you have to change the color of your pixel by running the pixel through different colors to create the color you need to get through the doorway.
You also kind of reverse. You can jump, but you also kind of reverse gravity, so you stick to the opposite wall. And then there's also, you can find switches that will rotate the dungeon,
Yeah, so
so you can access different areas.
And there's also enemies that will also fire at you.
Yeah, there's a shooting mechanic, and you have to shoot them with the opposite color on the color wheel, which is, I find a little annoying, only because I don't know what the opposite of yellow is. I mean, it's whatever on the other end, and there's a little graphic, but I had to think about it a little more than I wanted to.
Purple.
But and admittedly, for me, it was kind of weird because I realized, and I told him this, and apparently there is controller support for the game, which would help me out a ton.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's WASD and jump button. They're like, just like a first-person shooter. And I'm like, I don't play first-person shooters. Like, WASD is like the worst thing for me. I can't, I was trying to play the game, I can't WASD. This is not Basil made. Oh, God.
It's not Peggle. This is not working.
This isn't working. I want to like this game.
This isn't Peggle at all.
And I think there's a lot to unpack in the game, and they do have a tutorial, which I felt like it was easing me into the game, but then the tutorial kind of ends, and then I feel I'm right there into the deep end.
Yeah, admittedly, they were trying to do like a leaderboard score thing, and they're giving something out if you top out the leaderboard. So I guess it's supposed to be a little hard. But yeah, it was. I had to try a lot just to get through that stage, which I don't know. I would like to know if the real game starts out a little bit easier, because that might make me more inclined to play it again. But,
yeah, totally. Because like I played the tutorial, and they were like, "No, you want to play the tutorial. If you've never played this before, you really need to play the tutorial." I'm like, "Okay, awesome. I'll play the tutorial." And it was easing me into the game really well. And I'm like, "All right, yeah, I'm gonna play the next stage. Yeah, okay, I understand that now. That was kind of tough. Really don't like velocity, but man, if I had a controller, this would be awesome." I'm like, "Oh, color things, right? Right, color things. Oh, I can do." Now I can do this thing. I can do that thing. This is kind of neat. I'm digging this. And then the tutorial ends. I'm like, all right, let me play the game. And I guess I didn't realize the whole score thing. And I bet that's true. I bet there's a much gentler learning curve with just the game, which I think it's already on Steam Greenlight. I think it's already in early access, even possibly. I may have to get the game just to try it out, because I have a feeling that there is, because they're smart people over there, so I'm sure.
I'm also glad to say that the game was plenty hard enough without the things shooting at me. But, I don't know if the game really needs enemies. But...
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. But again, I also don't know if this is the case of that particular stage.
Is this more of an endgame difficulty thing? Like, now we have things shooting at you? That's one thing, but I don't know.
But now I'm really sad there's no, they're not making a train game. And now I really want them to make this train game where you go at 0.03 miles an hour. I think I need that to happen. Another thing that I need to have happen is a role-playing game that's also a pinball game. Thankfully, someone did that. Thankfully, Rollers of the Realm exists. And that is a role-playing game that you play by playing a video game of ping pong. Not ping pong. That would also be great.
Get on
but pinball, tired, leave me alone.
Ping Pong, the RPG, based on the manga and anime.
Oh, that'd be so good. But no, we're talking about a role-playing game based off pinball, and that was awesome.
Were you a pinball wizard?
There has to be a trick.
Yeah. He got the pinball healer. He wasn't up to the pinball wizard.
That's true.
Actually, that is true.
I only got up to the healer. But they've got this little storyline, and you play this game of pinball, and as you're playing it, the whole first idea is you need to get enough magical points so you can unleash your dog on the enemies. And it's set up like a pinball board, so if you hit this, you hit the ball up here, you can get to this extra area, this extra flipper, hit the flipper to bust some barrels, which gets you extra super points, and you hit this, hit that. You start off as a thief, and if your ball hits a townsperson behind their back, you get more gold that way. There's a knight that you eventually can switch to play as that is way more durable and can fight enemies easier.
It's a much bigger ball.
Yeah, it's a much bigger ball. There's a healer ball I played, where what they do is as they earn enough points, they can resurrect balls that had fallen into the trap. It was smart.
It's an interesting idea.
So in the storyline, your character, even when he was a young boy, he played the silver ball?
From Soho down to Brighton, he must have played them all.
We ain't seen nothing like him in the hour. We're not going to do this. I'm going to stop.
He's a pinball wizard. Thank you,
No,
John.
you're a young thief with a dog who is their only friend, and the dog gets kidnapped by the jerk-face meanie guys. And now you gotta go rescue the dog. Come on, guys. Jeez.
But that deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
Hashtag blessed.
Sorry, I love Pinball Wizard.
He's my favorite table. He can beat my best. His disciples lead him in.
He just does the rest.
So yeah, that one actually is already on, I think, PS4? Besides PC?
Yeah, I think he said it was on Steam already.
Yeah, I think the game is kind of done. I think they're still adding stuff to it.
I believe they said there was about 11
really
characters by the end of it. There's 11 characters or so.
Yeah,
I can see it because it seems very puzzle oriented. So, it seems like all of these characters are
Yeah, like before
offer
you
ways to solve puzzles.
before you launch the ball, you can select what character. If you hang it on a flipper, you can switch which character, and they each have different applications.
They also have like a nudge mechanic where you can actually move the ball left to right. So there's some almost it felt like the Metroid Prime levels where you just play as the ball and you have to get through this little maze. Kind of felt like that where suddenly you were having to nudge a ball and then manipulate flippers to get through like a little maze. Where the objective wasn't just to play pinball, but it had a little bit more of an actual puzzle game to it, which was pretty neat. But alright, we're going to take one more break. And we're going to come back with our favorite games that we played here at Momocon 2000#15. This is the OSMcast with Chainsaw Faye. No more jokes. Break. And we're back. So, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite game that you played?
Considering I only played 2, probably Moonstrider. I really, though, need to get down there tomorrow and play some of the games you guys have been talking about, because a lot of them sound really good.
Like which one?
Like all of them.
Alright. Acceptable. Dylan.
I kind of think the Puzzle Fighter was probably my favorite, although Lumini and Moonstrider and Rollers of the Realm are probably close in there.
John.
Dengeki Bunko. No. I'm with Dylan. The Puzzle Fighter one was really good. The other one, Prisma, was really good as well. The platformer.
Kevin.
I really like StarCrawlers. It was an RPG. What are you gonna do? It looks like there's a lot of potential.
Man, I'm pretty sure it's SPAERA, whatever they call it. Oh God, it's Tetris. I can't help but love Tetris. But it's Tetris good. It's Tetris plus. If someone told me they were going to actually finally make a for real sequel to Tetris that was unique and interesting, and they took the whole, making lines mechanic to an actual new level, this kind of feels like that. And the Tetris company will never do it because it's too different from Tetris. But, and then, man, freaking Puzzle Mayor, it's... Yet again, it's someone, I don't think I'll ever get a Triple Town 2, and he always was like, man, you could do so much more with this game. You could iterate on this idea so much more, and it looks like that's what he's doing. And it was a lot of fun. It looks really neat. I really, really enjoyed it. Oh, God, Rollers of the Realms. I love pinball. I love role-playing games. It's both of those. It's really... And then... Sticky was a match 3, and match 3's games a lot. and the Snarf guy does look kind of cool.
Snarf.
He's featuring the Larry Elmore's Snarf.
Yeah, Larry Elmore, that was the dude.
Yeah. If you redeem this code or got on this card, you get something.
I tried to grab 2 cards just in case you want to check it out.
Yeah, there's a second card. I could read it off. I'm not. Jumps, shapes, and beats looked really cool, and the Pixel had that cool train. My favorite game is whatever the awesome train game that the Pixel guys make.
In the future.
In the future, going at 0.3 miles an hour. That's going to be my favorite one. So get on it. Get on it, guys. I know you can do it. Make me a cool train game.
You're a cool train game.
I am a cool train game. Man, you're all
Pain
Momocon.
Train game. Pain Train game.
God, we'd have to figure out some way to license hard game. That'd be hard. And also, God dang it. Hashtag shut up.
Hashtag love you, base.
Yeah, you better. So yeah, the indie games at Momocon were really fun. It was really, and it's really neat to see all these things in progress. Like it's and something you really don't get to do in like the Southeast. Like we don't really have anything quite like what Momocon's building. Like this feels like something you would see at like a GDC or PAX or E3. And it's really neat that Momocon's really trying to foster that sort of thing here in the Southeast. Now, I also know there's a Southern Fried Video Game Expo, and I know that's where all the arcade machines came from. And I don't know if they're also doing this sort of indie thing, but man, I'm really glad that Momocon went this direction. It was a really neat experience to try, and
Yes.
I can't wait to see what they pull off next year. Because this was really good, and I would love to see more of it. Like, well, thankfully tomorrow because I get to go play more games. But next year, I can't wait.
Bring Ega. Hashtag bring Ega. Hashtag Team Sword.
Whatever. Hashtag Team Whip.
Hashtag
Blessed.
you do one, whatever.
Hashtag Yagite.
Hashtag Vampire Ring.
Hashtag Vampires. Anyways, I can't. I don't want to. That was a great video.
Hashtag.
You know what? This is. It's 2:35 in the morning. This is devolving as many OSMcast Chainsaw Buffet, combo podcasts at a con do. So before that happens, thank you. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good sometime that whenever you listen to this.
Good luck.
We're out.